Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today for July 31st. Man, it is the end of Level 7 of Jumanji. We're going to Level 8 next month. It's the man they call Meathead, and boy, we are in the hot days of summer. Matter of fact, the dog days of summer coming up tomorrow. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, doing all that fun stuff for us. Help us out with some comments. Let us know, it's nice to always have a partner to do these particular PWR Todays with. Yesterday, as you heard, I had to do it solo because Damien either, got lost on a 3-hour tour or, maybe his boat got crashed in the water. I don't know. But joining me this morning, as always, on Friday mornings is Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew.
Good, great. Glad to be here as your tag team partner, and glad that you're not having to go stag tonight.
It's funny you say that because, I'm a little uncomfortable by that, but I also love it because when you threw out the White Castle Day wishes to me, you said, I'm the meat in your bun, and that just made me uncomfortable.
And that was the reason why I said it. Absolutely. I couldn't find that on a pre-made greeting card, so I figured I'd just make my own. I'm
surprised you didn't send me a meme. Isn't that what the kids do nowadays? They meme?
I think they do something with that or that Jif peanut butter, from what I understand.
Fair enough. All right. So it's Friday morning. We've got Smackdown tonight. I also want to talk about, we mentioned this last week. I want to talk about the Pat McAfee show. Now, you said you did see Adam Cole on the Pat McAfee show, Bay. What were your thoughts of that first?
I did. I watched it. Very interesting. That was really my first experience with McAfee with the show. And
do you know what McAfee did before that show?
He punted those footballs around, right?
Punter for the Indianapolis Colts, punter of the decade, I believe, of the 2000s.
Yeah. And you said he had a WWE contract pretty much since that. Yeah, since he's taken that next step. So no, I think he's the right guy for something like this. It's not Jay Leno,
right?
Jay Leno, Rodman, Karl Malone, that whole deal. This guy reminds me of a wrestling personality. So I guess that was my biggest surprise watching it was, this makes a little more sense. This seems like it's a pretty decent fit.
He's not a literal, but he's kind of a nut job. He's got that personality. Can you imagine being in a locker room with that guy for the last 10 years? Because he's a pretty fun-loving guy. And again, punters, while they've been getting the no pun intended, shit end of the stick when it comes to NFL football, real football players don't like punters. Punters in the last 20 years, kickers in the last 20 years, they don't have anything else to do when they're done punting and kicking practice. Those dudes are working out, and they are cut and rip.
Yeah, no, and that's and that was kind of the part of the setup with that angle last week. He, kind of tried to downplay the fact that he was a punter. So I think that kind of feeds into the storyline a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. So the reason I bring this up, and I know you said you haven't seen it yet, but Triple H was on the Pat McAfee show as well, and I thought it was a really good interview. It's Triple H being Triple H, but also being the EVP, but also being just Paul, right? Paul Levesque is just being Paul, and he makes a great point when he's talking to Pat. He goes, "Pat, you're a shit talker. You poke people, and you poke them because it's fun." And I obviously have learned that I've been that person for a long time too. So you poke people and you agitate them and you're poking the bear. And when you see them start to get hot, you continue to poke because it's fun for you. And Triple H says, well, I get that because I'm that guy too. It's what I do. So Triple H told everyone that he did not tell Adam Cole to apologize. He did not say that he had to. Pat McAfee had asked if he was fined for it. He goes, well, that's business. So I wouldn't tell you that anyways because that's our business. He makes it. Here's the point I really want to get into. He makes a great point about how, Pat, you and Triple H didn't say this in so many words. This is an old school wrestler that was being coy about saying it up front, but he alluded to it. Pat, you're not in the business. You get familiar and you get comfortable and we let you behind the scenes and, you might be on a show here or there and you're doing a little bit of things with us. But the guys that really do this day to day, you're an outsider. You're still an outsider. And you don't do this on a daily basis. So you starting to make accusations about what we do, STFU, basically, shut up. So, I mean, I guess I can even see where Adam Cole came from in this particular interview that he had last week. Triple H explaining that, and really kind of what led me to believe, because remember we were talking, is it a shoot or is it a work? I think it's a shoot work now. I think it's both. Yeah. I think that Adam shot, even though it was an intentional shot. I think that something's coming down the pike, because at the end, and this is where it kind of leaked a little bit into maybe a little story. Hey, you said you're getting married, right? You're going to be down whenever you're down in Florida. We'll put you on the show. We'll promote the show. We'll do whatever. And there it is right there. Accidentally, oh, look at that. There's Pat McAfee and Adam Cole having an interaction one-on-one. So, Matthew, that's kind of where we're at with that. Apparently, they're working out a time when Adam Cole can get back on the McAfee show again. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. What are your thoughts of that?
Well, hey, the first thing I heard was he's getting married. I mean, maybe we go Randy Savage, Jake the Snake wedding deal. Maybe Ooh. That's maybe as soon as McAfee says he's keeping the ribbon, we've got Adam Cole. He doesn't necessarily have a reptile or anything he carries around with him, but I imagine he could let a hamster loose or something.
So what you're saying is apparently Adam Cole doesn't have a reptile. He's got a hamster. Again, that's going to get you having him slamming microphones around because you're talking about his size.
I mean, would that be add another dynamic? You don't have an imposing snake, but you've got this little hamster just running around the wedding. I think that's what you do.
I mean, Matthew, stop hiding behind your words. Why don't you just come out and say it? He's it's like a thumbtack and an afro wig.
I mean, I think that would entertain me. I'm this has been pretty well done 2 weeks in. It's celebrity involvement, somebody outside of the industry, that involvement. I think of Gronk at WrestleMania just dancing to himself and this, that, and the other.
He was a clown show, no pun intended, about the thimble and a clown wig.
It's easy for it not to go well. And in the past, WWE, WWF prior to that has always, I feel like in a lot of cases, felt like it was enough just to have a name and just to have, the rub and that. But it's good to see them actually, putting some effort and putting a build into it, in trying to do this work shoot. So, I mean, we're in the infancy of it. We're, this is the second week, but I think they're doing a good job. And I look forward to watching the Triple H interview and seeing, how that played out. And who knows, maybe if they start to go to work pretty quick on this, they can get it all set for the SummerSlam submarine.
We all live in a SummerSlam submarine, a SummerSlam submarine. Matthew, beautiful segue. Thank you. I'm glad we have those pre-call talks. It is reported, and again, you've probably read this on the internet, folks, but we're going to talk about it right here. There is a chance that SummerSlam will be on a boat. No, not a dinghy. It will be on an actual boat. Now, this is not the Jericho Cruise where they're going to have AEW Dynamite on a Jericho Cruise for 2 weeks. There is talk that Vince McMahon, with a Pirates hat and a patch over his eye, will have SummerSlam on a boat. In the staleness that is Raw and SmackDown, and the somewhat freshness of NXT and TakeOver, I'm for it. You know what? If you're reporting record profits or whatever you had just in the Q2 reports that just came out, put your money towards a boat. Make it the WWE Cruise, sell it to other people, and then that way you can check. I mean, do whatever you got to do, man. Give me something other than what you've been putting on Raw and SmackDown. Yeah,
and I think I said it kind of jokingly, but maybe the submarine's the answer, because the boat's been done before with Jericho, and I'm sure there's been other similar things, but I don't think a submarine has ever been done. I think that's it.
We all live in the SummerSlam submarine. Yep.
That would get, they love press. That would get press, having an event. I guess not on a submarine, in a submarine. I guess it would technically be, that would be the preposition, right?
The Money in the Bank match was at Titan Towers, right? And somebody got thrown off the building. What if somebody got thrown off the boat?
I think that's very possible.
It's very possible. In shark-infested waters.
Yeah. But you'd lose a little bit of that if it was in the submarine because they're already submerged, Right. So basically, they would be thrown out of the submarine and they'd have to come to the
put
surface.
into a torpedo case and shot out of the.
Oh, I think there's huge potential. And so, there was also some speculation apparently that maybe they're looking at the very least having it on a beach somewhere, which even that little change, I think would be no fans needed or anything, just
taking the cue from UFC who bought an island.
Yep. So anything, I think here's the thing. I think just anything to get away from the visual of the Performance Center is a good thing at this point. I don't think it has to be any type of perfect scenario. It could be in a field somewhere, but just anything
Didn't
to
we
get
just
that
have a
different
cinematic
visual.
match with Bray Wyatt in the field?
Oh yeah, that's true. The field thing's kind of been done recently, so I checked the field off the list. But yeah, just go to the submarine, right?
I'm telling you, we could do somebody off the boat, a Judy Bagwell on a pole match off of the boat.
Oh, I think so.
No, it was Judy Bagwell on a forklift, but still. Wow.
There's got to be some, out of service submarines around somewhere, right? It shouldn't be that
the
hard.
SS Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think it's very, very possible.
Well, that was talk about. Again, it is possible. Let's talk about Smackdown coming up tonight. There are a couple things that they're going to hit. There's going to be an Intercontinental Championship match. It's Grand Metalik taking on AJ Styles, the Phenomenal One. We've also got Bayley and Nikki Cross going at it for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Naomi looks to send her own message in her match against Lacey Evans. And the love story of Otis and Mandy Rose will fire back up again tonight on SmackDown. Where has Otis and Mandy Rose been? Are they quarantined? Is that why they haven't been around? Or
that's a very good question because, here's the thing with that, though. I don't know the specifics, but, if you're going cinematic backstage stuff, that was, to me, a pretty entertaining little story. And I don't know why that's seemingly, been dropped up until now. So
was the hacker. Where's that?
Oh, that's right.
The hacker's probably in the black or the white Hummer.
Wow.
On Nitro.
That shows you how short-term the professional wrestling memory is, because you're exactly right. I guess I just played into, their cards of forgetting anything that didn't happen a week ago. Wow, that has been dropped, hasn't it?
Yep, they're probably in the white Hummer on Nitro. So, but I absolutely loved Otis and Mandy Rose's reverse Fast Time at Ridgemounds High. Where they had the doom, and then Otis coming out of the pool. I always thought you were cute, Otis. Yeah, Peach. So we're gonna see where that goes. Again, speaking of cinematic, they could have done more stuff with Otis and Mandy Rose, but that's gone. Naomi has been, trending a little bit on the internet. The fact that they tell you that they're trending means they're not trending as much, but it trends a little. Give Naomi a chance, or Naomi deserves better. I worry now that Sasha has won her belt. Does Bayley lose her women's championship on SmackDown to Nikki Cross? There's a chance there. And AJ Styles, he's probably just got another person to compete with. I think he holds on to the IC belt. Your thoughts of SmackDown tonight?
Yeah, no, I could see that, but I think they've done a great job with Sasha and Bayley. I don't foresee that happening this quick. I think they get to ride that for a little while, but who knows? Because
wait, who's riding who?
Submarine.
Oh, woo, you know it. I thought we were talking about Zack Ryder, who debuted in AEW. There was a segue there.
Yeah, no, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. No, I think she retains, but I think we eventually get one of them losing it and a little bit of some seeds of jealousy being sown. But
they're not from China, are they? Those seeds?
Have you got any of those yet?
No. And if I would have planted them.
Yeah,
because that's how I grew up. If you get seeds, you got to put them in the windowsill.
If I get unsolicited seeds in my mailbox, I'm immediately thinking beanstalk.
They're not magic lagoons?
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
Hey, I want to segue off of the Bayley and Nikki Cross thing and kind of take it back towards Raw. We saw a very surprising finish with Kairi Sane getting the win over Bayley. And then the next week with Asuka losing her belt to Sasha due to Bayley beating up Kairi Sane. We found out this week Kairi's done. She retired. She's going back home. Your thoughts on honestly, let's talk about the last year that she was part of Kabuki Warriors. Yeah. Let's talk about her, what she's left. What was her mark in Raw or on Raw the last year?
Yeah, a surprise to me. I feel like that. I like that team. Her and Asuka. I thought it was a really, really solid pair, and that's a surprise. I liked what they did to the finish of that match. I thought it was really clever with the stipulation, and knowing that they were looking for a way to write her off. Quintessentially, I think that made sense. But she'll be missed, and has been a great addition to Raw during her time there. Did
you see the video sending her off this week from WWE?
No, I've not.
There's about a 5-minute video sending her off. The send-off that she got was amazing. It's literally how, she announced that she was leaving, going back home to Japan, was WWE put out a video. It says she's wrestled her last match on July 20th. So, to, see Samoa Joe and everybody else say, we're going to miss you. Thank you. Love you. I thought it was outstanding. That part was outstanding. Now let's talk about the last year. And this is kind of why I set it up this way. I really do think that, with the injuries, really the Kabuki Warriors pretty much featured Asuka, and it was Asuka getting to do something else. I didn't think they used her as much. Could they have used her more? Sure. Could she have been stronger? Sure. But literally Asuka, all she was doing was running to the aid of Kairi Sane over the last year. So I enjoyed her time there. I enjoyed her work. I enjoyed having her around, on the shows. She will be missed. I hope that at some point she comes back and wants to wrestle again, but maybe she wrestles, back in Japan, maybe New Japan Pro Wrestling, something like that. But she said she's going home, and we wish her the best, honestly.
Absolutely. And, just it goes to show, somebody like that, you're not necessarily thinking departure or retirement, at least U.S. Retirement. It's always a wake-up call onto how close a last match really is.
Yep. So with Kairi Sane going, we are going as well. Again, folks, hit us up on the comment section, like, subscribe. We've got a brand new show that came out last night with Damian Nelson, Dave Hero, and Sugar Shane Helms. They do a super show, or is it super show? I never know which one to emphasize. Big show that they always do. I love the work that they're doing, and I'm so happy to have Shane Helms with us at PWR. So make sure you're checking that video out. If you subscribe, you get the notifications when the new content comes up. We've got more stuff coming up next week. Again, appreciate you listening every Monday through Friday. PWR Today, Monday mornings with Linda, Tuesday mornings with Dave, Wednesday and Friday mornings with Matthew, and Thursday mornings when he shows up with Damian Nelson. So for Matthew Thomas, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.